Tonight, promoting the federal budget in the nation's capital.
This investment is going to strengthen and enrich a community so many military families call home.
The Liberals highlighting funding set aside for a rec center in Orleans, while the Conservatives dispute the government's spending plans. Young adults preparing to take a big next step.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, this is more than I expected.
Algonquin College hosts its fall open house amid changing programs and courses. And how early is too early for Christmas shopping?
It's so great. We love supporting local, especially when it's so close to the holiday season.
Holiday market season kicks off here in Ottawa with the return of festive shopping. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Liberal ministers are spending their first post-budget weekend selling the government's fiscal outlook to Canadians. Here in Ottawa, officials highlighting funding that was set aside in the budget for the Bob McQuarrie Recreation Complex in Orleans and more. But there are still some big questions about the largest expenditure in the budget, military spending. CTV's Jeremy Sherrill starts us off.
Across the country, this is what the next week will look like. Prime Minister Mark Carney's Liberal government is hitting the ground to sell its fiscal plan for Canada's future.
This is about being able to make sure that we control what we can control.
In Montreal and Ottawa today, ministers highlighting a new federal infrastructure fund helping finance new community projects.
We're going to build, we're going to protect, and we're going to empower.
But a big focus in this budget is on defense spending. More than $80 billion over 5 years, yet critics have said details on how that money will be spent are lacking.
Government needs to come forward and provide more of an explanation, more of a roadmap, some more detail about where those dollars are going to go.
The budget also doesn't earmark any money for new submarines, despite this government signaling an urgency to deliver that contract.
We're actually in the middle of negotiations. It's hard to book money when you haven't got a price on an acquisition. So we are in the middle of these negotiations, looking to see how we will get as many industrial benefits as possible.
Now, while setting aside big money for defense is a first step, actually spending it is a different challenge.
Lots of good stuff's happening. It's not yet clear whether or not we're adapting, even if they're all great ideas, as fast as we need to be able to adapt to a huge injection of money.
The Canadian Armed Forces have historically faced challenges spending the money allotted to them.
A lot of our procurement has been stuck in the early 1990s, to be very honest with you.
The minister points to his government's new Defence Investment Agency as a fix, tasked with overhauling and streamlining procurement.
Now, follow-through will be crucial to meeting a new increased NATO spending target of 3.5% of GDP. But this budget doesn't include details on how much closer this fiscal framework gets us to meeting that goal. Jeremy Sherrill, CTV News, Ottawa.
And to pass the budget, the Liberals need to pick up at least 2 opposition votes or see some opposition MPs abstain. Green Party leader Elizabeth May told CTV's Question Period yesterday what it would take to win her support.
There's no mention of the Paris Agreement and our ongoing commitment to meet our targets, which are legally binding. There is no mention of our commitment under the Biodiversity Convention to a target that was named after the host city, Montreal, to achieve 30% protection of nature by 2030. I need to see that our commitments remain commitments.
Now, the House is set to vote on the government budget support motion when they return from break week on Monday, November 17th. And you can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen right now or link to us online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. We do have more details on the federal budget. You can download the CTV News app. Again, just scan that QR code on the screen using your smartphone. Well, doctors in Quebec have another protest that's planned for tomorrow in Montreal, and it comes as CTV News has learned more physicians are applying for licenses in other provinces, including here in Ontario, as a response to Quebec's Bill 2. CTV's Kimberly Fowler joins us live in studio with more on this. Kimberly.
Well, Austin, specialists, family doctors, residents, and medical students are expected to express their dismay against Bill 2 at a demonstration tomorrow. Now, Bill 2 is a new health legislation in Quebec that enforces pay and working conditions on physicians and imposes severe fines for doctors or associations that engage in certain forms of pressure tactics. Now, as of yesterday, Ontario's College of of Physicians has received 240 applications from Quebec and granted 26 licenses. Now, in New Brunswick, 70 applications have been received and 2 licenses have been granted. Now, one of the doctors who is planning to leave is the chief of anesthesiology at the Outaouais Health Board, who says Western Quebec is particularly hard hit.
Next week, I've got 9 operating rooms out of 12 closed due to lack of nurses. I've got surgeons and anesthetists, my colleagues, sitting at home without work. But in the law, if we do not operate patients, the government will go to the public saying that we failed, and not only that, that they will apply penalties onto us.
The Quebec government invoked closure to force Bill 2 into law late last month, arguing that the changes were necessary to ensure all Quebecers have access to a family doctor and medical attention. Medical professionals say the changes will reduce the level of service they can provide to patients. Now, about 1,000 people demonstrated last Saturday against Bill 2, and doctors are planning another large rally at Montreal's Bell Centre, and that's happening tomorrow. Austin.
Okay, CTV's Kimberly Fowler reporting live for us tonight. Kimberly, thank you very much for this. Algonquin College held a fall open house today, showcasing its programs and giving prospective students a look at what class life could be like if they choose the local college. CTV's Kimberly Johnson is back in studio after spending some time at the campus, and you spoke with some of these students. What are you hearing?
That's right, Austin. Earlier this year, Algonquin College announced some changes to its school classes, including eliminating some programs. But even as those changes are implemented, students today say that they are looking towards the future, and attendance for the open house is as strong as ever.
A hands-on learning experience in the paramedics lab.
Perfect.
Tristan Marshall is getting the feel for his future career.
Definitely sparking my interest here. Because I'm planning on being an air paramedic, so like a helicopter that flies around and stuff.
The Kingston High School student, one of thousands of possible future Algonquin College students visiting campus for the fall open house. Marshall says after seeing the campus, current students, and equipment he could be learning with,
This is definitely a step in the right direction.
Algonquin College says it offers over 250 programs ranging from firefighting to robotics and culinary arts. Saturday's tours also allowed students to see the facilities, like the campus's new state-of-the-art science lab.
They can see firsthand some of the things that the program offers. Also, they can meet our faculty and get an understanding of what the programs are all about.
Earlier this year, the college announced it was cutting 40 academic programs and closing its Perth campus as it deals with a multi-million-dollar deficit.
I'm really not sure if it will affect the digital media program, but if it does, it would be really, really massive shame.
Michael Cull drove up from Belleville. He says the changes have not affected his plans to learn about broadcast engineering, but knows that isn't the case for everyone.
I just hope that that doesn't happen to my field of being behind the camera in some sort of way.
Algonquin College says 3,600 people registered for the open house, a slight increase compared to last year.
Everybody gets the opportunity to learn that.
Over at the Immersive Learning Lab, paramedic and nursing students find out how they learn side by side.
I thought it was really cool to see, and hopefully I do well in a situation like that. Looks pretty hectic.
Now, the cuts come to programs as the college says that it's facing unprecedented financial challenges because of a cap on international students, a tuition freeze, and provincial funding shortfalls. Austin?
Okay, CTV's Kimberly Johnson reporting live for us tonight. Kimberly, thank you very much for this. Well, Canada's economy added 67,000 jobs last month, with the overall unemployment rate also down slightly. CTV's Heather Wright has more on where progress is being made and who is still struggling to find work.
Unemployment is down, wages are up, and even some sectors like manufacturing and transportation, which lost a significant number of jobs in the summer, appear to be rebounding.
Over the course of September and October, we're actually seeing kind of a recovery in these sectors, and the sort of the level of employment in both sectors, we're now back to where they were kind of closer to the spring.
Canada added 67,000 jobs last month, with the overall unemployment rate dipping slightly to 6.9%. And while experts say this jobs report is a sign the labor market is beginning to recover, many are still struggling.
I've been applying to more than
100 jobs. Catherine So is 22 years old and has been searching for months for a job as an early childhood educator. She's open to other jobs as well to help pay the rent, but she's struggling to find anything. I'm definitely concerned about not landing a job as soon as possible, especially because I don't have much money saved up. So is not alone. The youth unemployment rate is the highest it has been in decades, though it did drop from 14.7% in September to 14.1% last month. Another area economists are watching is part-time work. All of October's job gains were part-time positions, a sign of uncertainty in the market.
When businesses are looking to hire, they don't want to hire full-time because they're not sure what the coming year is going to look like.
This strong jobs report now has many economists predicting the Bank of Canada will hold its overnight lending rate at its next rate announcement in December after 2 consecutive cuts. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
A 33-year-old man from Perth is in hospital after a serious single-vehicle crash near Smiths Falls. The collision happened early this morning on Highway 43 west of Glenview Road at around 1 a.m. And that area is approximately 3 kilometers northwest of Smiths Falls. Ontario Provincial Police say the man suffered life-threatening injuries after the pickup truck that he was driving left the road while traveling westbound on the highway. We'll take our first look at the weather forecast, and there was some snow on the hoods and windshields of some cars that I saw just walking around the Byward Market earlier this morning. Probably cars coming from out of town, but right now we're at -2, and the snow is unfortunately on the way. Mainly cloudy conditions over the course of this afternoon as well, and we're already at today's low here in the capital at -2, but elsewhere it's going to be quite cooler. Look at Kittigan-Zibi, -9, Bancroft at -4, same with Petawawa, and much of Gatineau at -4 degrees overnight as well, -9 in Tremblant. So if you've been waiting to dust off the parka, now is the time, at least if you're spending time outdoors in the next little while. -1 is tomorrow's high, and you can see that chance of, not even a chance, just expected flurries right across our region, eastern Ontario and western Quebec, as far as Montreal and beyond, with Montreal expecting a high of 0 degrees tomorrow. But snow is the story, and that will continue to be the story throughout tomorrow. Women's soccer continues to surge in popularity right across the country, and today that momentum was on full display as Ottawa Rapid FC hit the pitch for their semi-final matchup, looking to punch their ticket to the league's first ever final. CTV's Josh Morano joins us live in studio with more on what was a huge day for the club and for the Northern Super League. Josh.
Yeah, Austin, the stands at TD Place were filled with fans of all ages and genders. But this afternoon's semi-final wasn't just about advancing. It was about showing how far the women's game has come and witnessing another chapter in Rapid FC's rise.
Go Rapid!
Go Rapid, go! Crowds streaming in, packing the lower bowl at TD Place ahead of Ottawa Rapid FC's semi-final matchup.
Now we're huge fans, and the fact that they made it to the playoffs, we're in the semis right now, is so exciting.
For Kelly McNulty, it's a chance to cheer on not just Rapid FC, but the Northern Super League as a whole.
Everyone is saying that this is the year, this is the time for women's sports. So watching these women in real life as often as we got to this year has been phenomenal.
We wanted to support the new women's team, and we've had a great time coming out to the games and watching it, and they've had some great performances coming in second in the league.
The club has seen an overwhelming amount of support in its first season, which it says played a crucial role, helping them finish second in the standings.
Throughout the season, players have really drawn on the crowd and the energy and the vibes from our fans, and they've showed up for us.
We have season tickets, and we come every week, and they know all the players. We go to everything we can, and this is something that they can visualize and work toward.
As many fans say, the league has given young athletes new role models.
This was always about impacting not just the players on the field. It's about that women that want to work as not just players, but coaches, referees, women in business, women in the media, sports science, whatever it is.
And win or lose, McNulty says the day was about sharing the love of women's sports with her family.
It's been overwhelming, and it's been something we haven't had before in the city. I'm from Ottawa, and I've lived here my whole life. And growing up playing sports myself, I've never had the ability to go out and watch women's sports at this caliber.
Unfortunately, however, this is the end of the road for Rapid FC this season, losing just moments ago in penalty kicks to Vancouver Rise FC. Austin.
Yeah, it was an absolute thriller of a match and devastating way to go down. We'll have a little bit more, some highlights later on in the newscast as well. Josh, thank you very much for this. Well, the holiday shopping season is right around the corner. Already, some have begun shopping. A number of markets are underway this weekend with a focus on supporting local. CTV's Natalie Van Roy is live in studio with more on this. Natalie.
Lawson, you could really sense the festive spirit at a number of community Christmas markets, and the vendors say it's a highlight of their entire year and a chance to support their small business in a difficult economy. At the Nepean Christmas Craft Show, thousands are looking to shop local. For the Fells family, it's a tradition.
It's so great. We love supporting local, especially when it's so close to the holiday season. So it's always nice to try new things, get some treats.
My favorite thing so far is getting this so far and spending time with my mommy and daddy.
Thank you.
The market held for a number of days with dozens of vendors.
We have everything ranging from food to handmade crafts, Christmas ornaments, Christmas pictures, handmade hats, handmade scarves, sweaters, you name it, anything handmade is probably here.
Organizers say they expect 3,000 people to pass through here on Saturday alone.
It's a barn quilt cardinal.
The owner of this small business, Kinderhook Crafts, carefully creates each festive piece.
It takes hours upon hours, so I don't do one piece at a time. For ornaments, I would probably do 6 to 10 at a time, and that would take me all day.
Unique crafts for gifts or display.
It means the world to me to support local because the times we have now, we need to support our home-based small businesses instead of some of the big box stores.
Meanwhile, at the Metcalf Farmers Christmas Market, holiday music is going, and the farming community has a number of stands.
Supporting local gives us also the opportunity to grow better food and for you to eat better food at the same time. People are cheerful. They're happy. They come here with like an intention of getting stuff for Christmas and enjoying it.
We like to see the vendors and see what they have to sell, say hi, get some good food, get a few nice handmade gifts for Christmas gifts.
Many come from out of town to set up a stand here.
I've been part of this market for a couple years now, and it's a great way to kick off the season. Everyone's always excited when it comes because it's like the mark of the beginning of the season for us.
And if you missed the Metcalf Christmas Market today, it will be held again on December 13th. And then the Nepean Christmas Craft Show runs until Sunday at 4 p.m. Austin.
Yeah, tons of markets. It's a great time of the year to start shopping for those gifts. Natalie, thank you very much for this tonight.
The last moments were fear, and all of us had to listen to shot after shot after shot.
Still ahead, the end of a months-long legal battle to save an ostrich flock at a BC farm where avian flu was detected last year. And as we head to break, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It's a chilly -2 degrees out there right now.
Hey, Ottawa, know someone who secretly makes our city amazing? We want to hear about them.
You know, the kind of person who goes above and beyond without ever asking for anything in return.
Because Move 100, CTV, and Lazy Boy want to give them a huge shout-out.
We're searching for Ottawa's unsung heroes, the everyday people doing extraordinary things. Nominate someone for a chance to win them a $5,000 Lazy Boy gift card.
Nominate your local hero today.
Let's celebrate those who make Ottawa a better place.
RCMP and Nova Scotia have confirmed to CTV News they are investigating online threats targeting new Liberal MP Chris D'Entremont after his floor crossing earlier this week. The threats were reported to Mounties in the southwest town of Yarmouth on Wednesday. RCMP would not tell CTV the nature of the online threats, but confirmed the investigation is ongoing. The threats came one day after D'Entremont, the Nova Scotia MP, made the controversial move to quit the federal Conservatives and cross the floor to join the Liberal Party. The sound of gunshots marked the end of a months-long legal battle to save an ostrich flock at a BC farm where the avian flu was detected last year. The case had gone all the way to the Supreme Court, which did not hear the owner's appeal. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver reports.
BC's Universal Ostrich Farm is unusually quiet. A drastic change from overnight when shots rang out for hours as the Canadian Food Inspection Agency shot and killed its flock of ostriches.
So all night, our animals were put into a kill box of hay bales, traumatized. Their last moments were fear, and all of us had to listen to shot after shot after shot.
More than 300 birds were caught in the middle of a cull order 10 months in the making. The saga began last December when 69 ostriches died on the farm. The CFIA found traces of avian flu in 2 carcasses and ordered the flock culled to contain the virus. The owners fought and lost in 3 different courts, including the Supreme Court of Canada.
There were so many offers given to the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to use science over speculation and to choose discovery over destruction, but they chose destruction and to bring war.
The CFIA argued that allowing the birds to live increased the likelihood the avian flu virus would mutate. The department refused an interview request, but said in a statement that after consulting with experts experienced in managing ostrich disease outbreaks, the CFIA concluded that the most appropriate and humane option was to use professional marksmen in a controlled on-farm setting. All depopulation activities were completed under CFIA veterinary supervision. To help keep the peace, the RCMP says it was brought in at the request of the CFIA and remains on site for now.
When the decision came down, the mood was quite somber in the morning. Once the CFIA operation began, certainly those emotions bubbled up a bit.
Virologists say culling the herd was the best way to protect human health. Supporters who disagree continued to gather at the farm, saying they're angry and heartbroken that this was allowed to happen. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News.
South of the border, Republicans are rejecting an offer from the Democrats to end the 39-day government shutdown, which is the longest in U.S. history. The proposal would reopen the government and include a one-year extension of health care subsidies that are set to expire. Senate Majority Leader John Thune calling the offer a, quote, non-starter. Senate is in session over the weekend, but the two sides remain at a stalemate. In a post on social media, President Donald Trump suggested that senators redirect Affordable Care Act funds, which are sent to insurance companies, directly to people so that they can buy their own health care coverage. And the ongoing U.S. government shutdown has led to major staffing issues at airports right across that country, causing hundreds of flights to be canceled and many more frustrated passengers. It's even having ripple effects here in Canada.
But most importantly, they have to know if their particular flight has been affected, or if not, make other plans, because there are other effects other than just air traffic controllers not being on duty. For example, TSA is also not part of the shutdown. They're not getting paid. So there have been reports of some airports having staffing problems with much, much longer waiting times.
13,000 air traffic controllers and 50,000 security screeners have been forced to work without pay. As a result, flights in the U.S. started getting canceled yesterday, and the Federal Aviation Administration has told airlines to cut another 4% of flights today across 40 major airports. The cuts will rise by 10% by next Friday, and with American Thanksgiving just weeks away, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says it's possible that 20% of flights could be cut if things get worse. India has placed a 30% tariff on Canadian yellow pea producers, and as CTV's Alison Bamford tells us, it's another blow to a sector that's already reeling from Canada's ongoing trade dispute with China.
Terry Yuzwa's pea crop isn't worth much these days. Prices taking a bigger hit than canola, down 43% since China imposed its tariffs on both crops earlier this year.
So where we were getting 12 to 14 bucks in 24 a bushel, today we're getting 7.
Adding pressure to the price, this month India slapped a 30% tariff on imported yellow peas to support that country's domestic farmers. It's a 1-2 punch from Canada's biggest pea buyers that make up about 70% of the export market.
But it's never good news when you get a message that there's a 30% tariff. It's very frustrating because it's out of your control. You have enough challenges as a grower
Unsung finished harvesting his peas in August. They're in the bins, and he said they'll stay there for now, waiting for better prices. But he can't hold off for too long.
I believe these are bumps in the road which will pass, but the question is when.
Uncertainty has some producers wondering what to plant next year. Growing peas has its benefits, especially for soil health. But financially, right now, it doesn't make sense.
When it comes down to dollars and cents, we are losing money by growing peas.
The industry is working to diversify its markets globally and here in Canada, but all that takes time, and it still might not be enough.
Hopefully we can, replace a certain portion of it, but I'm doubtful that we're able to replace it all.
Back at Unsung's farm, he's holding out hope that Canada can negotiate its way out of the tariffs.
We want our markets back.
Before farmers have to make some tougher decisions. Allison Bamford, CTV News, near Nipawin, Saskatchewan.
Mike Smith, best known for his role as Bubbles on the Trailer Park Boys, has been charged with sexual assault. Court documents say Smith was charged by Halifax Regional Police on October 2nd in connection with an alleged incident on December 30th of 2017. The documents do not include details about the alleged incident. Trailer Park Boys Incorporated released a statement which reads, quote, "We are aware of the allegation concerning Mike Smith dating back to 2017 and take such matters seriously. We recognize how difficult an allegation of this nature is for all involved, and out of respect for the legal process, we will not comment further on the case." At this time, Mike has stepped away from his role at Trailer Park Boys Incorporated, and Gary Housam has assumed managing director responsibilities. We remain focused on delivering the long-awaited 13th season for our fans. Well, today is Indigenous Veterans Day, a day that sheds light on the sacrifices First Nations military members have made and the racism that they have faced here at home. CTV's Alex Karpa reports.
Indigenous veterans honored on the eve of Indigenous Veterans Day. It's a time commemorating the service and sacrifice Indigenous members gave to Canada's military. Wandi Wakita began serving in 1958 and did peacekeeping missions in Germany and Cyprus. He says this time of year is emotional for him.
That was not our war. We volunteered to go. We want to look after our land.
Veterans Affairs Canada says more than 4,000 Indigenous people served during the First World War, with well over 3,000 more answering the call during the Second World War. Hundreds more expanded duties in the Korean War. Devin Beaudry joined the military in 1978 when he was just 18 years old, spending 35 years in the Royal Canadian Air Force. For Beaudry, it's a time to remember all those who came before him.
Sergeant Tommy Prince, remembering him and his sacrifices that he made, not just for Canada, but also for his communities, and how they treated him when he got back.
Systemic discrimination against Indigenous veterans began as soon as they returned home from service.
I acknowledged we failed you.
The Canadian Armed Forces recently apologized for its role in the racial discrimination and harassment current and former members faced while on the job. For Wakita, he wants to see peace around the world.
I want all of us to live together in good way.
Indigenous Veterans Day was recognized by the federal government in 1994. The latest numbers show that there are 23,000 Indigenous veterans across the country, with around 2,700 Indigenous members actively serving. Alex Karpa, CTV News, Winnipeg.
This year's theme is Hometown Heroes, so it's pretty cool to represent Montreal.
Tattoo talent. After the break, we highlight a Canadian tattoo artist that's making waves on a competition show.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
It is that time of year. We were talking about it just a few moments ago. Tonight's lows getting almost down to the negative double digits, so certainly getting to parka weather as we take a look at the weather forecast. And it was a bit of a quiet one out there today, but you can see the boards are up and people are starting to think about heading out onto the ODR. So that is one of the treats of this time of year. As the mercury drops, we at least start to think about lacing up the skates and getting out there for a skate around town. You can see a little activity on the satellite radar. Not a lot in the way of precipitation at least, although there was some very, very light snow earlier this morning in the Byward Market. Not enough to stick, just enough to make me think I was losing my marbles. Taking a look at the East Coast, it's 10 degrees in Charlottetown, 11 in Halifax. Stark contrast from what we're sitting at here in the nation's capital. We're at -2, Sudbury at -6, Timmins at -9, and that is one of the cooler spots in the country right now. 3 degrees currently in Toronto, 5 in Windsor. You can see Baker Lake at 11 or -11. They are the coolest spot on this map across the country as we take a look now at Regina and Saskatoon at -7 degrees currently. 2 degrees in Edmonton, 5 degrees in Calgary, and a pretty nice 11 degrees in Vancouver right now. They'll take that after a deluge of rain over the past couple of weeks. We're expecting the snow to roll in tomorrow afternoon with that high of -1 degree in the afternoon hour. It's the same song and dance for the Ottawa Valley and similar conditions along the Seaway too. Just a blanket of snow across much of our area, expecting about 15 centimeters in some parts of Eastern Ontario, depending on where you are. And that chance of snow carries over into Monday, a 40% chance. Same with Tuesday and Wednesday. And yeah, Thursday as well. Although at some point, right around Wednesday, Thursday, it'll turn into sort of some sloppy, slushy conditions because you can see that we're getting above the 0 degree mark. 4 degrees is the high on Wednesday, 3 degrees on Thursday, and then the sun hopefully returning with a mix of sun and cloud Friday into Saturday. The tattoo competition show Inkmaster is back, and this season features 15 artists from around the world. That includes one from Montreal. CTV's Anastasia Dextrine has more.
He's breaking skin and breaking ground.
This year's theme is hometown heroes, so it's pretty cool to represent Montreal.
Luca Lajoie says his love of tattoos started when he was 12. That's when he watched his older brother get a tattoo.
Seeing all the tattooed guys with art on the walls and portfolio and everything just gave me the little thing I needed to just have this idea in my head forever. And yeah, the second I was 18, I bought a tattoo kit on eBay.
Lajoie began practicing on family friends. He focused on portraits of characters from movies and celebrities, from solo tats of the LA Lakers to full sleeves of Spider-Man. Lajoie is known as an expert in tattoos and color realism.
It's up to you and you alone to put your hometown on the map.
Right. I could never see myself doing a reality show or something like that, but I got the email from Inkmaster.
Lajoie was scouted to be one of 15 contestants from around the world on Inkmaster Season 17. The show challenges artists as they compete for a $250,000 grand prize. One challenge he faced was going back to basics. Competitors were asked to sketch on a whiteboard.
We had to represent something that represents us and our city. So then I was like, what should I do about Montreal, and all kinds of different ideas in my head. And then I was like, okay, Montreal is a city of squirrels. There's squirrels everywhere.
I love that. You're a realism artist, but you did something totally illustrative. I love the perspective.
There was the squirrel that is like dropping his nuts and represents kind of like the French culture that is slowly fading away because there's more and more English speaking, and not in the bad way, but mostly in the way like there's a rivalry and it's been going on.
Lajoie says his art is about repping his hometown. As for the competition result, he says you'll have to watch and see. Anastasia Dextrine, CTV News.
It's been a joy to do them for the kids.
Coming up, a knitting project with a very special meaning. Kemptville retirement home residents donate hundreds of Izzy dolls ahead of Remembrance Day.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
It's that time of the show where we check in now with our iHeartRadio Weekender, Tanea Taylor. Tanea.
Believe it or not, it is this time of year already. You can check out the Christmas Craft Show at the Nepean Sportsplex this weekend. It's one of my favorite events of the year. It always falls on or around my birthday, and I love checking it out. It features over 100 vendors, and it's a great way to get into the holiday spirit a little bit early. Vendors include clothing, food and drinks, pet products, and of course, a lot more. Admission, just $7 for adults, and kids 12 and under, they get in for free. Another one to check out this weekend is the Indigenous Women's Arts Festival at the Saint Laurent Shopping Center. Celebrate the beginning of Christmas with a marketplace featuring over 70 vendors, art pop-ups, and live performances too. Definitely a great one for the whole family and a fantastic way to celebrate and support local Indigenous vendors. And last on the list today, if you want to catch some Atletico action, Sunday at 5 p.m. they take on Calvary FC at the stadium at TD Place. Always fun to grab the family and cheer on your hometown team. You can get tickets at ticketmaster.ca. As usual, lots more happening around the capital this weekend. The full list and all the details at ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, my name's Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
In case you missed it this week, they are tiny dolls that have made a big impact, and now so have knitters from Kemptville Retirement Living. They have made more than 800 Izzy dolls that will be sent to kids in war zones overseas, continuing a tradition started by a fallen peacekeeper. CTV's Katie Griffin has that story.
All right.
Inside these boxes,
I think you're gonna need more cards.
Yeah. Precious cargo.
I did 225 myself, and it's been a joy to do them for the kids.
Noella Claroux is a resident at Kemptville Retirement Living. She and others knitting hundreds of Izzy dolls.
We had a knitting club on Tuesday, and we all got together and we all knit.
The dolls, symbols of friendship and peace, are named after Master Corporal Mark Isfeld. He was killed by a landmine while on tour in Croatia 31 years ago. Before his death, his mom made dolls he distributed to children wherever he went.
We have 883 Izzy dolls with us today.
His legacy living on.
It's amazing. In one swoop, they've given us more dolls than we raised all of last year.
The group donating the dolls to the Canada Aviation and Space Museum.
So what we do with them is after November, we pile them together and we send them over to Health Partners International Canada, HPIC, who use them as packing materials for their medical kits that they send out to places in need.
Dolls are then distributed to local children.
And of course, I had to hop on board. We had so many donations of wool, every different color and kind, and it was just fun to pick out different ones and make our own creations.
It's something to do together. A lot of these ladies would knit in their room before, and now they come and they gather in the main lounge and they knit together.
Making a big impact, one tiny doll at a time.
We would really like a picture of kids receiving them to put up in our home.
Katie Griffin, CTV News.
And Perron steals that attempt and Stutzle with a shot, scores!
After a pair of tough overtime losses, the Sens roll into Philadelphia for a tilt with the Flyers. We'll have a recap of today's matinee match right after the break.
Hey. CTV and TSN 1200 want you to be the Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week. Your team could win $1,000 for new equipment, tournament fees, or an incredible team party.
Shoot us a quick video uploaded at ctvottawa.ca. Whether it's hockey, ringette, choir, band, or any team in between. Each week, the winning team will join us live in studio at CTV Ottawa at 6 to claim their prize.
Enter today for your chance to be Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week.
In tonight's Big Picture, twin spacecraft are set to take off on a journey to Mars, where they will investigate why the barren red planet began to lose its atmosphere billions of years ago. The mission will aim for an orbital trajectory that has never been attempted before, according to aerospace company Advanced Space, which is supporting this project. If successful, it could be a crucial case study that can allow flexibility for planetary science missions down the road. The spacecraft are slated to lift off atop Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket as soon as 2:45 tomorrow afternoon from Cape Canaveral Space Station in Florida. Turning now to some of the other stories you need to know, including mostly sports highlights this evening. Kimberly Fowler's here. Ken.
Well, Austin, we had the Ottawa Senators. They were playing this afternoon, a matinee in Philly, and for the 4th game in a row, Ottawa headed to overtime.
Shabbat, lead pass to Batherson. Batherson winds in, feeds it back, and they score!
Tim Sislo, the hero today, nets the overtime winner, and he's actually scored 6 goals in his last 6 games. 3-2, your final score over the Flyers to wrap up this 3-game road trip. Now, Ottawa is back at home for the next 4 games, starting tomorrow when they host the Utah Mammoth. Puck drop is set for 7 o'clock.
Left-footed shot into the top corner! Does it! And that's it!
Heartbreak for Ottawa's Rapid FC in the second leg of the Northern Super League semifinal today. They really had it in this one. They were up 2-0 late in the second half, but the Vancouver Rise would get the equalizer on aggregate with about 6 minutes left in regulation. The Rise then would win in the 6th round of penalty kicks and advance to the inaugural NSL final, and that's next Saturday in Toronto. They will face either AFC Toronto or the Montreal Roses. And Toronto Blue Jays leadoff hitter and DH George Springer has won a Silver Slugger Award after a resurgent season. Springer won the award as DH and also received nominations as an outfielder. The 36-year-old hit 32 home runs with a .959 on-base slugging percentage, and that ranked him 2nd in the American League.
Vereshchagin back to the top. Whitehead fires shot, blocked, and it's in! It worked.
And the
its
Ottawa
way through.
67s, they were on the road last night, this time south of the border to take on the Erie Otters. Nick Whitehead scores with 14 seconds left in the second period to put Ottawa up 4-2. The Barber Poles would add another one in the third. 5-2 is the final, and it was their 5th straight win. And now the Barber Poles, they will wrap up their road trip tomorrow afternoon, and that's when they visit the Brampton Bulldogs.
It's an exciting time for hockey in the capital.
Yeah, exciting time for sports in general.
Yeah, absolutely. A devastating loss, though. We were watching that Rapid FC game.
Seconds before the show started, we're like, come on, girls.
And to tie it up for Vancouver in the 85th minute, that's devastating.
Yes.
But better luck next year. An incredibly successful season.
Inaugural season, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So congratulations to all the Rapid FC players.
When I'm running each day, I take one day at a time.
After the break, capturing the legacy of a Canadian icon, we preview a new documentary set to be released on the life and the impact of Terry Fox. Before we head to break, there's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. It is still -2 degrees.
Tonight, the tall task of selling a budget.
We're going to build, we're going to protect, and we're going to empower.
How MPs are trying to pitch a grand game plan to Canadians and secure the votes they need on Parliament Hill. Later on CTV National News.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's a recap of the top stories we're following right now.
We're going to build, we're going to protect, and we're going to empower.
Liberal ministers are promoting their recent financial moves, selling budget plans, including here in Ottawa. But there are still big questions about the largest expenditure in the budget, which is military spending.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, this is more than I expected.
Calling all student hopefuls, Algonquin College hosts its fall open house amid a period of change for some programs at the post-secondary institution.
Watching these women in real life as often as we got to this year has been phenomenal.
And rapid fire action here in the nation's capital. Ottawa playing in the Northern Super League semi-final. A devastating loss this afternoon in penalty kicks, but a massively successful first season. A bit chilly there as well for anyone watching the game at TD Place, and things are only going to be getting colder and whiter. We're expecting to wake up to -2 degrees, and there is a snowfall warning that is in effect, an advisory from Environment Canada. You can see that snow expected to carry over into Monday, 40% chance of flurries on Tuesday as well, and then turning to a bit of slush on Wednesday and Thursday because we have highs of 4 and 3 degrees respectively, and still a chance of precipitation. Well, finally for us tonight, a new documentary that's providing an unprecedented look into the impact of a Canadian hero.
Yes, Run, Terry, Run promises an inside view of the iconic journey and legacy of Terry Fox.
When I'm running each day, I take one day at a time.
Now, this is going to be super cool, and I would imagine most Canadians will watch this. The documentary features never-before-seen footage pulled from nearly 100 reels from the Fox family archives. It's set to premiere on Monday in Toronto with a live performance by the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. And again, a lot of excitement for something like this.
It's got to be super cool. I remember, well, I don't remember. My mom tells me 1981, she took me to see Terry Fox when he came through Scarborough.
Oh, no way.
So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this. So,
yeah,
he's
absolutely.
an icon.
And it's just so cool to see his legacy continuing on. The Terry Fox run every year, of course.
Absolutely.
Core memories. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Have a good one.